Oke guys, kembali lagi di channel Rai Konstantin. Kita akan bermain Starfield Shattered Space ya. Part ketiga ya. Oh keren ada suaranya. Kita disuruh misi aligning the houses. Kalau gitu, sorry gue batuk. Tanpa basa-basi, let's go. Kita mulai. Kemana kita ya? Sini kali ya. Oke, let's go. Oh ya guys, as usual, link modsnya nanti buat kasih di bawah ya. Oke kita udah sampai ya guys ya. Apa nih?
If you are not a member of House Bethal, you do not belong here.
Oh, to you too.
Truly, you are a heretic with no regard for respect.
Forgive my brother. He has been forgetting his manners of late. Victor, this is a Nazgul's chosen. You recall Lovik sent word.
I recall he spoke of a newly anointed promised. And we do not need help, especially from an outsider.
You can't continue to refuse the council. You must act. Your inaction is killing you.
Precisely, which is why he leaves me no choice but to say this. My nephew Varric has left, and until he returns, Victor refuses to assist the council.
These are hardly matters for the ears of an outsider.
These are vital matters that could save Dazra.
And who are you to tell me what is vital and what is not? You are an outsider. You have no understanding of our house. What would my son, my successor, the heir to House Bethal have to do with house politics? Even someone with basic political knowledge should realize his importance.
Ya orang marah-marah terus cok.
The audacity! I should have you arrested.
Is this not the opportunity you've been looking for, brother? A third party capable of finding Varric?
Yes, you said so yourself. Someone with no loyalties to speak of. And if he's become promised, truly his arrival is more than coincidence.
Serpent, give me strength. You both speak true. Perhaps I have reacted in haste. Tell me, Vindicator, are you well practiced in discretion?
File not found. File not found. Ini yang ini gak sih? I'm well practiced in a lot of things.
Then perhaps you are more promising than I initially thought. As Vittoria mentioned, my son, Varric, has left. Essentially, he has abandoned his post. And not only did he turn his back on his house, but the great serpent as well. He is a traitor and must be dealt with as such.
Victor, surely you don't mean it.
He does, Luther. He is allowing his fervent pride and anger to cloud his judgment. What my brother is trying to say is that he wishes his own son dead. First, we lose Vashti to that malignance tearing through Dazra. And now you so willingly offer up Varric. As if our house has not suffered enough loss already.
I will not speak of her with an outsider, promised or not. Your focus is solely on Varric. My son denounced the very faith that defines Varun's society. He dared to blame a Nazgul for the state of Dazra. Dared to call our faith in the Great Serpent blind. It is heresy and punishable by death. Because he let his weakness get the better of him. He sees himself as a prisoner in this life. He runs from a duty that others would spend their lives coveting. He is my son. He does not get to choose. He was born to inherit my title, and he knows the punishment for refusing to honor it. Of course it would. As someone from the settled systems, you have no concept of what the Great Serpent demands of us. I do not wish Vedic dead, but as head of the Ministry of State, he left me no choice. All must serve. Those who refuse will be met with death. Our duty as wardens is to keep the populace tasked and loyal. All must serve, both the Great Serpent and House Varun. No exceptions. Those who refuse must be cleansed to stop the spread of corruption. I will not have it known that I declared my own son a heretic and allowed him to escape our grasp. This knowledge weakens the Ministry of State's authority, something we cannot risk at this time. This is why my interest turned to a third party, someone outside of the noble houses, but we have yet to determine someone trustworthy enough. Until now. The shame Vedic brought upon this house is immeasurable. It stains the very foundation. I will not act until this house is in order and its members are properly aligned with the Great Serpent. Exceptions show weakness, and we cannot afford to show weakness at a time like this.
We have done the same for less. You act as if death is the only answer. What about forgiveness?
I will not risk the Ministry's authority on the actions of my own son, even if he is my chosen heir. If the High Council wants my cooperation, I need you to find Vedic and carry out his sentence.
Mudah-mudahan
And
bisa
I
ditolong
would
sih.
ask you to spare him. My brother is acting under impulse, not reason.
I have never been more clear. Speak against me one more time, and you will regret it. Vedic has a signet ring with House Vithal's family crest. Bring it to me as proof of death. Only then will I grant you access to the power grid.
I'll see what I need dulu deh.
There is no other way. The Ministry of State must uphold order, and you will be expected to serve as we all do. I recommend you start by speaking to patrons of the Herald's Rest. Some of Vedic's associates there may know where he went, but keep in mind, anyone who has directly aided him in hiding is an accomplice and shares his fate. See to it you do. All anyone needs to know is that you are looking for Vedic for personal reasons. I will not risk word of his disappearance getting out before I can say the situation has been handled.
Chosen.
Kayak gak santuy gitu nadanya tadi. Conflict and confession. Kita ulang lagi ya, guys ya.
What? This railing is taken. And no, I'm not looking for company. Varric Vethal. And why should I know anything about the heir apparent? I'm nobody. Ask him yourself, if you find him. Oh, sure. I'm just fine. Hundreds of people are presumed dead. One best friend ran out on me. The other's just drinking himself to death. So yeah, couldn't be better. Do I? Perhaps at one point, I thought I did. Varric. One day we're inseparable, and the next, I've searched all of Dazra for him. But he's gone. Couldn't even leave a note. That means he either doesn't want to be found or... well, I prefer not to think about it. So, what if I did? Like I said, he doesn't want to be found. You think so? I couldn't live with myself if anything happened to him. I would have thought so too. Great Serpent. Let him be okay. You're right.
Ye berhasil.
You're right. All right, fine. But I'm only telling you this because I want him to be safe. I never found out where he is. But I know someone who might. His name is Tain Salavea. Hard to say right now, but Tain's a regular. If you stay a bit, you can't miss him. Just promise me you'll let me know if you find Varric. Yes. I need the closure. Whatever it may be. Thank you.
Our sins must have been considerable for a great serpent to subject us to this.
Oh, ini dia orang yang kita cari.
Another day in Dazra. Hey, aren't you that outsider made promise that showed up here recently? Impressive. Since these people really aren't into strangers, especially in times like these. I'm an outsider myself. It's hard to get into the whole giant snake thing. I guess when you're part of the supply chain, they make a few exceptions. There's not a lot of people in the import-export business when it comes to Dazra, and they aim to keep it that way. But believe me, it wasn't any short amount of time before they let me roam these streets. You could say I'm like a specialized delivery service, moving stuff back and forth between Dazra and the settled systems. Just so happens I got a lot of time on my hands since Dazra went to hell and I lost my ship. And let me tell you, I thought things were grim before. Whatever that incident was, this whole planet's gonna need therapy. Yeah, it's something, isn't it? I've been toting stuff back and forth for these people for years and still get the cold shoulder most places I go. But then these people lose half their city and you show up, and suddenly it's divine intervention. Yep, that's how I feel most days since I got stuck here. Anyway, enough about that. What can I do you for? I know the name, sure, everybody here does. But the man? Not much. Someone like me doesn't exactly hang out with house bigwigs. That's so. Well, I guess that depends, Vindicator. Who wants to know? I consider Varric a bit of a friendly acquaintance. I know enough about the guy to care about his physical well-being, if you know what I mean. Oh, sure. You just show up out of the blue and suddenly want to know where to find House Vathal's #1 son? And I know he wasn't lost to whatever ate up half of Dazra. Plenty of people have seen him since. Although, let's just say after what went down here, my retirement's looking imminent, and I haven't exactly been saving up for a rainy day. So if you're feeling generous, maybe we can help each other out. Nice to see we operate on the same wavelength. I'm pretty sure he's heading into the Highlands. Just not sure where. But I do have the means to track him. So you just say the word and we're off to the races. Highlands region is the northwest side of Dazra. Pretty good area if you don't want to be easily found. Yep, when it comes to my stuff, it's like a package deal. I'm not just gonna hand off valuable tech to some stranger. You make it sound creepy. But yeah, for emergencies. Oh no, I'm stuck on you until this is over. Let's just say I have an investment to look after. Once we're outside of Dazra, I'll fire up my tracker, and fingers crossed, it'll lead us right to him. Just head out the west gate, should be the fastest route.
Okay, so many things happen ya guys ya. Ini perjalanan bakal panjang sih. Berapa jauh sih tempatnya? Wah, di situ, Cok. Coba sini dah kita. Gua karena udah selesaiin beberapa misi, ada beberapa tempat yang udah gua unlock. Atau tuh suara apa tuh? Apa itu? Langsung hilang biru-birunya. Coba kita kesini, kayaknya disuruh kesini sih. Eksamin? Apa yang dieksamin? Kaget aku.
Veric's been busy if he got this one. Friend's a strong word. More like friendly acquaintances. Guess we both felt the Herald's Rest was one of the few places that made us feel like real people. Couple of drinks and everyone's your friend in that moment. He's a good enough guy, I suppose. A little self-absorbed, spoiled. Growing up in a noble house probably does that to you. A little naive, too. He's got this friend, Bianca. She's crazy about him. But the guy's oblivious. And his friend Eggy? Guy needs to lay off the Koza. But I heard Varric let him in on his tab. That's gonna work out well. Blames his dad for everything, though, and I get it. Victor Vathal is not an easy man. He's just used to getting his way and the world revolving around him. When you're raised to be elder, that's bound to bring you all sorts of extra attention. So sometimes when hanging around with us peons, he forgets we have our own thoughts and opinions. Well, it's Victor we're talking about, so it wouldn't surprise me. But Varric can't see how much effort Victor puts into making sure his son has all the tools he needs to take over. He'll go on these rants of Victor drilling him on scenarios. Stuff makes my brain hurt. But Varric talks about it like child's play. Hey, whatever you want. I've only had a few run-ins with Victor for security purposes, and he's all in. The man embodies House Vithal. He could probably recite Janan's teachings word for word, and he runs the Ministry of State without missing a beat. Strict, demanding, and always watching. The guy's good at his job, but when it comes to personality, I couldn't tell you. Whoever he is, he keeps it close to the chest. House Vithal? Yeah, when it comes to House Varun and the Great Serpent, you won't find a more dedicated house. Some are borderline fanatics, if you ask me. One step away from zealots. Victor isn't even the worst of them. Ugh. The state's my least favorite of the three. Commerce and conjunction keep to themselves, but state reaches everywhere. Their security, but more importantly, their loyalty. So they'll get deep in your business. They want your motives, your next of kin, your firstborn. I joke. But the moment they get a whiff of something anti-snake, that's heresy. And heresy is a one-way ticket to meet the Great Serpent himself. When you're in the kind of position that he is, I think you have to be. You can't be in charge of security and purging heretics and then turn around and cry over spilled milk. This is Dazra, where noble houses like to duke it out for bragging rights. They see weakness, they take advantage. Not from the man himself. The only time I get glimpses of who Victor might be is through Varric. It's clear he cares about his son, putting in all that work to prepare Varric for the vultures and wolves when he becomes elder. And get this, he even tells Varric he's proud of him.
Okay.
Sure thing. Always up for a chat.
Gue seinget gue ya ada chest pas gue kesini. Oh, ini dia.
Time to see. What we want.
Nggak di situ ternyata. Wait, tadi gue kan dapat apa nih? Oh, ada kayak darah gitu. Tadi gue nemu kayak di sini ada sesuatu. Di sini ada ini nggak ya, block trail lah ya? Apa ini kok nyewan anjing? Head west. Mana lagi west? Ini dia. Oke, nggak ada efek ternyata. Ini oke ya? Ih, kaget aku. Itu tadi kalau gua nggak lihat di merah-merah ada di map ada merah-merah tuh udah gua tembak tadi tuh.
All my years and all the planets I've been on. Never gonna get used to those things. Sure looks like it. Damn House Baron. Wiping out half their city and bringing in horrors like these. At least I don't see a body around here, so I hope that means Varric's alive. You find anything? Damn. Hate to think he had to take on those things by himself. Well, what's next? Varric must have fled in a hurry since his tracker's still here. So guess the rest is up to us. Sounds like a plan. And hopefully that injury slows him down enough for us to catch up. Let's head back down and see what we can find. And by we, I mean you.
Ini bloodstain ya? Ternak farm.
That's far enough, strangers. You want to tell me what you're doing on my property uninvited?
Ya semua ini mirip banget ya. Semua karakternya.
Through here. You realize you're in the middle of nowhere.
Aduh.
I can understand that, but I can't help you. The only people here are my partner Zen and our daughter Mila. No one comes around here. We're isolated, and that's the way we like it. All right, fine.
Irina, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Zen, yes, I know quite well. Never mind my partner, they're just overly cautious. As I said, we're isolated out here. We keep to ourselves. But we did aid an injured young man a few days ago.
That's gotta be Varric.
It's too coincidental. It must have been him. We didn't know and didn't ask. We introduced ourselves, and he quickly changed the subject. But he was polite, and something about him reminded me of our own son, so I didn't feel the need to push him. Casimir Mazur. He left a while back to find work in Dasra. He didn't want the life of a farmer. We haven't heard from him since the incident. We sent him north. There's a long-abandoned growth farm we felt he could make use of. He claimed he lost everything in the incident that swallowed half of Dasra. He wanted to start a new life. We even gave him 2 of our own groats to get started.
Thank you for your
You're
help.
welcome, and safe travels. If you find him, give him our regards.
Ya udahlah ya. Apa state refugee? Search the dwelling. Oke. Oh, ini dia. Bagus.
Nothing going on out here. How about you? Find anything?
Siapa itu di belakangnya?
Good, because this old body is in need of some rest.
Ada orang di belakangnya, Cok.
Sounds
Siapa
like
itu?
it's a waiting game then.
It seems I have
ini
uninvited
dia.
guests. You want to explain yourselves?
Whoa, hey, it's me. Dang. Put the gun down already.
It's not you I'm concerned about. It's your friends.
Rightfully so.
I wish I could say I was pleased to meet you, but something tells me this isn't a social call. Please, if you're here on my father's orders, allow me to plead my case. I'm glad someone does for once. I am not sure how familiar you are with our culture, but all I've ever wanted was the right to choose. I was born House Vithal. I was raised to inherit the role of Elder, to run the Ministry of State, to worship the Great Serpent. But I want none of it.
Your sole responsibility is to your house. There's always a choice.
With House Vithal, easier said than done.
This is true. House Vethal and the Ministry of State are known to be the most devout and punitive of the houses. It would not be easy to leave without extreme consequences, as you now know.
It's never mattered how much I tried to reason with him. My father simply would not let me go. His pride and the fear of what it would mean for House Vithal is all he cares about. You sound as if you speak from experience. I envy you. Sometimes I would give anything for a supportive word from my father. All I want is to make my own life. Something Tane understood and was willing to help me with.
The credits help too, but yeah, guess you got the whole scoop now. I was hoping you'd see it that way. I lost my ship to the incident, so I didn't want Barrick running off thinking I could just grab him and go. I was also out all the credits he was gonna pay me. That's where you came in. I figured, why not 2 for the price of 1?
So, now you know my true intentions for leaving, and given the circumstances, I may be here for some time. My hope now is to make the best of it here. It seems opportunistic, I know. The truth is, the scaled citadel was the last straw. My people are so blinded by faith and politics, they don't see how it's destroying us. Anasko Varun eliminated half our population in the blink of an eye. My sister Vashti among them. I could no longer live in a society that won't put its people first. That would destroy itself in the name of a god that has done nothing for us. Especially when that faith leads to hate. I hope you can see why I want to walk away from all this. To start my own life. I ask that you give me that chance.
Look, dia orang baik, Cok.
I pray I'm not boring you.
You're free to go, but I would ask something from...
Anything. Name it. My ring. Vashti gave it to me. It's all I have left of her since the cataclysm. The disaster took every physical reminder of her except for this ring. Just wiped her from existence. True. It's as if she's looking out for me. One last time. Take it. I'll find solace in the fact that the ring will remain with my family. And now I hope we are done here. Thank you for seeing reason. I owe you both my life and freedom.
Now that's over with. I'm gonna hang back here, talk to Varric a bit. Besides, I don't want to be around when you break the news to Victor. Do me a favor and find me at the Herald's Rest when you're done.
Aku harap kita baru buat decision yang sangat bagus. Kita kasih tahu dulu cewek kan udah janji kita. Ini planet baru atau gimana ya? Karena kayak sebelum gua main, sebelumnya gua main kayak nggak pernah ada.
Great Serpent, please help me. I am terrified.
Gak bisa cok ngomong sama dia. Ya udahlah. Gue banyak matiin mic karena ini apa, lagi batuk-batuk. Sorry ya guys. Let's go.
Is it done? You're back. What news do you bring?
Kenapa harus ada dua? Jadi bingung gua. Your son is dead atau answer to the great serpent now?
Now is not the time for reflection.
What have you done, Varric?
This blood is on your hands, Victor. I hope you remember this. I have not overlooked your involvement in this.
No, it was Veric's choice. He knew the consequences.
You were his father. You were supposed to protect him. You think you are doing what is right out of some blind dedication, but you are destroying this house. You already lost one child. You had to murder the other.
Victoria!
I will not hear any more of this. It is done. Leave us.
Oh, I am leaving to mourn my nephew whose memory you disgrace with your very presence.
Victoria!
Leave her be, Luther. The Great Serpent will guide her. She will understand in time and emerge stronger for it. Then I can appreciate a tool that does not question. Ultimately, I care nothing for what you think. Now, only one matter remains to discuss. Did you find anyone who aided my son in his treachery? Good. I also have heard nothing of my son's disappearance, so I appreciate your discretion in this matter. You restored order to this house, and have my gratitude. Here, the access code that Ekris needs to connect to the power grid. Now
Okay,
go.
nice.
I have much to arrange.
If only you had allowed Varric to live.
Mana cewek itu?
The incident was a terrifying.
Mudah-mudahan kita bisa ngomong sama si Victoria sih. Victoria kah ini? Oh iya.
The very sight of you offends me. I wish only to be rid of you. A fine question after I trusted you with vital information about our family and asked you to spare my nephew. I should have put the same question to you myself.
Nah, gue nggak nyangka kita bisa ini Cok ngomong sama dia tuh.
Great serpent, steal me. My heart beats with anticipation, and yet I fear to ask. Great serpent. Where is he? I must see him.
Gue jadi bingung gue Cok ngasih tahu lokasinya atau enggak. Save dulu.
Great serpent keep you.
Jadi bingung gue ngasih tahu atau enggak Cok.
You were saying about my nephew, a growth farmer. I always knew that Victor would drive him away. Varric often spoke to me of his own dreams and aspirations. And they never did include house politics. I think even Victor knew he was unhappy. But his pride only allowed him to see a boy that would follow in his footsteps. I should be happy for him for that alone. As much as I want to see his face, it is enough to know that Varric is alive and safe. You have brought me peace. Thank you, Vindicator.
Nice. Hehehe. Mudah-mudahan nggak ada yang denger aja yang kita ngomongin ke dia. Sumpah kalau ada yang denger kacau sih. Ketemu sama si ini deh.
Excuse me, I have work to do.
And Salavia.
Glad we got that whole Varric business sorted. Whole thing was starting to be a real pain in the ass.
No, Eggy. You have already had several.
What can I say? Nobody makes a drink like you do. Come now.
Anyway,
Just one more drink?
seeing as I don't have a
I
ship,
cannot wish to say
I'm kind of
goodbye
out of a
just
job.
yet. I have
So I was
fallen
thinking,
under your spell.
if you're looking for an extra hand, I got two.
Anything, every day.
They both work well enough. I mean, for my age anyway. But fair warning, I can't do all that moving around and trying new things, stuff that the kids do. Because fact is, I'm retired. Not from work, but life. Then we're on the same page. Oh, and one other thing. I've got a reputation. You ask anyone about Tain Salaver, and they'll tell you he's old and lazy and useless with a gun. And I'm here to tell you that's only half true. I am old and lazy, but I'm okay with the gun. That easy, huh? Didn't even have to bribe you or lie about how good-looking you are. Well then, just tell me where you want me. Guess I'll be heading out. See you later, Captain. The refugee camp looks pretty bad. I'll get back to work.
I'm trying to keep strong, but
Masih belum
I
selesai
fear I
nih
may be
masalah ini.
losing my mind.
Kayaknya kita masih bisa ngomong sama si siapa? Sama si Varric. Coba ngomong tentang si perempuan ini, Bianca.
Hey, thank you for honoring my freedom. Well, if you had to tell anyone, Vittoria would be the most trustworthy. She will keep my secret, especially knowing the consequences we'd all face. In fact, a part of me is relieved. She has had enough grief to deal with. I owe you my life in more ways than one. Vashti knew my heart and mind well. She would understand. I have no doubt. Our father is what would bother her the most. She would have made a far better elder than I. If only he would have listened. But the man refuses to see anyone's truth but his own. For now. My father won't risk additional resources to confirm my death. That would only reflect poorly on him. Besides, this is just a stepping stone. My ultimate goal is to leave Varunkai behind. This farm will allow me to prove to myself that I can make it out there. I was on my way to see my father at the Halls of Obedience when it happened. I had just crossed Jinan Plaza when I saw the light pulse from the Citadel, and the sound felt like it went right through me. I couldn't help but fixate on the Citadel itself, surrounded by that strange energy. It didn't even dawn on me until later, just how heavy the losses would be.
Gak bisa juga. Udahlah, kita ngomong sama si perempuan itu dulu. Ngomong sama perempuan itu Bianca pacarnya.
I don't even know why I'm still here. Oh, you're back. Is this about Varric? So, the news is true. Varric was executed as a traitor.
Seems it has been one hard day after another for most.
True enough. No relief on the horizon. Make that 2 drinks, actually.
Thank you for telling me. Even if it wasn't what I wanted to hear. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to be alone. I have a lot to process. Really? You don't think it's working out for me? The only reason I'm alone in the first place is because Eggy's determined to drink himself to death, and I won't have it. I could really use his friendship right now. I thought Eggy was one of my best friends, right alongside Varric. But he'd rather down a bottle of Koza than have one coherent conversation with me. Varric was always able to talk him out of one more bottle. Me? I think he just tuned me out. You don't think I tried? Eggy's his own problem now.
You do not understand. I saw a Nasper, took measure of his burdens.
What you are describing is a dream, nothing more.
Not a dream. A message. from the great serpent himself.
With all due respect to your craft, dear sister, now is not the time for incense and ash leaves. Or do you not see the depth of the crater before you?
On the contrary, brother, I know what it truly is. And if we ignore this vision, Anasco will be lost to us forever.
Enough with the proselytizing.
Oke, firasatku itu ya gedung masalah tuh.
Did Victor finally relinquish the access code? Slowly but surely. It's a shame the houses aren't more forthcoming. You'd think they would have wanted to aid the situation from the beginning, but they remained self-absorbed as ever. Excellent. We'll finally have the resources to fully charge the morning device. Now, let's hope Houses Kadik and Dul Kef are as forthcoming.
Politics can wait. Every moment we delay, Anasco descends further into the void.
For the last time, faith will not remove the barrier. Science will.
It is the hubris of science that failed you in this moment. We reached out to the Great Serpent. This is his reply.
You claim he has forsaken us?
I do no such thing. The Great Serpent's reply is not an answer, but a question. Are we worthy of his grace? Until that is proven, your works will not succeed.
It sounds like you agree with me.
And yet, only one is the foundation for the other. But the proof is not in our words. It is in the vision. Anasco's presence still persists in this world, and he seeks our aid.
Fine. I feel like I've lived this argument 1,000 times, and the only way to move past it is to concede to its nonsense. Vindicator, speak to my sister. Agree to her fool's errand, so that we may continue the work of saving this city.
Your life, your purpose, has been forever changed.
Oke, kayaknya sampai sini dulu ya guys ya, karena udah ini. Kalau gitu aku harap kalian enjoy. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe. See you in next video. Okay, bye bye. Love you all. Peace.